Hi guys, good afternoon. Igama lami nguZolela wakwaBhunu, originally from Ekumani, and the owner and founder ka South Africa Driving Institute. The company eyenza classes learner's license. We do learner's license classes. Class here to only 6 days of money learner's license yakho. We book a date for you at traffic department. You don't have to worry about it. Sikubukshela ngokwethu. Now, anza ngazothetha ngalonto leyo namhlanje. Ndizothetha ngenzoba why you guys failing learner's license test here to class ibhale traffic department. Then ndafumana through the clients zami ezizayo zokwenza iclasses zakhona ezisuka from a traffic department, then decide uba bazawuza kwaSADI for ukufunda iclasses learner's license. Now, the reason why abantu befailisha kuqala bafailisha because of we are underestimated the questions because of previously ubukho ibhali learner's license, then wayipasa ngoku awuyipasi because of questions zitshintshile azisabuzwa ngolo hlobo izuzwa ngalokuqala. Remember kudala besinala K53 kuthiwa uno test 1 no test 2 no test 3, but now they no longer using those questions. Okay, they don't zikhona ezinye questions but ezingazikho, so ayisekho lando yokuba ufundele ukupasa. Uyaqonda, thina we decided uba masukufundise because sifuna understand, sifuna upase. Passing ukupasa kuthi iba ibonus, but sikufundisela uba understand questions ba zithini na. Okay, understand imithetho yendlela, all the rules zendlela, all the signs zendlela, ne road markings zendlela, lines ezilapha phansi endleleni bazithetha uthini kuwe. Then it controls the motor, which means the interior, umphakathi wemoto, ezinto zisebenzisayo xa uzawuhamba okanye xa umuvisha imoto, zonke ezaa zinto. So senze ezo zinto ezothina. So oyesibini into kukuphendula because of ucinga uba uya-understand le question ibuzwayo, but uya-understand the tricky side yayo. For an example, idla ngothi inye question zayithetha ngesiXhosa, idla ngothi question ngubani ispeed sokuqhuba apha elokishini. Then the answer yokuqala ibe ngu-60 kilometers per hour, zilandeleke nezinye. But abantu bakuthi baphendula bathi ngu-60 kilometers per hour. But iphinde ibuze le question kuthiwe ke ngoku if ever uthi ngu-60 kilometers per hour kubani speed limit sokuqhuba apha elokishini. Then umuntu abe confused ke ngoku because uphendule le question but i-answer zakhe zimbini kwi-question ezimbini. I-answer yakhe iyi-1 but i-question zimbini ezibuziweyo. Kubani speed, kubani speed limit. Now, i-question xa ibuza ithi ngubani speed, i-speed usponsorwa yi-sign ecaleni kwendlela. So siyadropha sinyuke sidrophe depending kwi-area kuyo, but i-speed limit sona ku-60 kilometers per hour. You understand? So zi-question ezinjalo ezi abantu bazimistake-ayo xa beziphendulayo. Nansi enye i-question yesibini when it comes to i-signs endlela. Kukho i-sign yi-triangle ekuthiwa yi-warning sign igama layo xa ibizwayo. Then apha emacaleni i-red, then apha esiphakathini ibomvu, sorry ayikho bomvu, imhlophe, then ibhalwe emnyama. The information lapha ngaphakathi bhalo emnyama. La sign bayithanda iba ngathi yi-winding road, indlela emajiko-jiko, yi-an arrow emajiko-jiko. Then bathi abantu xa beyiphendulayo no, la ndlela kuthiwa yi-slippery road, but ayiso slippery road, yindlela a-winding road, not a slippery road. Bayithanda mistake abantu bathi slippery road la ndlela. So zi-question ezinjalo, if we understand i-science, thina xa sikufundisa i-science sithi suphendulelo zi-answers how to answer. Do you understand? Sukujonge answers to answer. Jonge sign, understand the sign. Okokuqala yintoni igama le-sign, ndifumana phi le sign, ithetha uthini kum, ndenzani after endixelele loo nto leyo lo sign. So thina we break it down to small pieces. Sukufundisa i-rules iqala, sukufundisa i-signs iqala, sukufundisa i-road marking signs ezilapha phantsi, then sukufundisa i-controls zemoto. Then ke ngoku we do a test after that. Sukwenza i-test, senze i-test until we make sure that we are pass i-test zethu. Then xa sikusaya i-traffic department ngoku sithi you're ready to book, siyayazi uba uzawufumana i-learner's license 100%. That's what we do in order for you to learn i-classes, upase i-learner's license yakho. But uhlobo sikufundisa ngalo sine video sesisebenzisayo to make sure le nto understand uba ithetha uthini na. Xa uphendula question, xa uphendula question uphendula because of ndiye understand uba ithetha uthini na. I'm not guessing the answer, they understand the answer. That's what we do. So into benifuna uthetha ngayo today ibiyinto enjalo uba why we're failing i-learner's license. Sifailisha because of sizinto ezinjalo singazi-understand. You're thinking that siyazi-understand but asisi-understand. Most especially umuntu obekho wayibhala i-learner's license before. Uba ngathi ngoku le learner's license ayibhalayo uyiqhelile but akayiqhelanga yiyo. Do you understand? So Tina, we make sure that siyakufundisa upase learner's license yakho. If ever une interest yokungena classes zethu, i-classes zethu ziqala every Mondays. You can check us on Facebook, igama South Africa Driving Institute. You can check the reviews zethu phaya ubone basiya siqhuba njani na. You can call us anytime for more information. If ever mhlawumbe kwinto ngekhe siyithethe, you can call us anytime. Inamba ngu-067 277 1788. South Africa Driving Institute. We're here for you. Xa ufuna i-learner's license yakho. Thank you.
Well explained, my brother. Thank you so much. And they are doing a great job. And I like the fact that he break it down so that people will know what they're actually doing at that institution. And also I like the fact that he addressed the issue of how the system was back in the days, whereby we used to, make phone calls, we book, we get a date. It was difficult to get a date during those days, You get a date. Sometimes you even, when you're in Tembisa, you get a date in Benoni or Boksburg, depending on where the slots are. So you get a date via the phone call. Then when you get there, you guys are going to a class and you'll be sitting in there in the class. Then they'll bring, you will never know if you're going to write A, B, or C. So they bring your test. The test that you're writing is different to the test that the other person who's sitting next to you is writing. Obviously, we were using, papers and pen. And after when we're done writing, we will go and submit our test to the examiner or the person who is in charge in the class, and that person will mark. And the way they were marking, they had this other thing which was like alphabetical on the side, simply because of, remember, you either select A, B, or C. That's how it was. Some will have more options, but he will just take that thing and put it on top of your test, and it will easily mark. If this one is wrong, this one is right, this one is wrong. That's how they used to mark back in the days. And when you're done writing the test, then you'll go and wait outside. When you wait outside, he will start doing the markings. When he's done with that marking, then he will come out and start calling names. When he or she start calling names, in many occasions, you don't know what's going to happen, because of once they call your name, they said, if we call your name, can you please go this side? They call names that they're calling, you go that side. And from thereafter, then that's when they will deliver the news to you. Everybody that I call your names, congratulations, you did well. So if your name is not called, unfortunately, try again next time, you failed. It was in that way. And when they're calling our names and with that side, we're looking at each other, we really don't know what's going to happen, because people were not even sharing information back in the days. When they said, you guys did well, I remember I was next to this other guy, and we're shaking hands like, hey, we did well, my brother. We did well, yeah. We were excited because, some of us, man, we've been playing the catch-up game. We learned how to drive when we were already older. We grew up in families whereby there were no cars. So you're always catching up. I remember that day when we were in Benoni, I was just shocked to see the Indians and the white people who didn't make it. And because of I had a short period of time to study, but I managed to pass. And we were using English, and I'm like, they grew up speaking English. I went to school which was not Ivy League school, but they failed and I passed. That was one of those moments when I sat down, I'm like, I'm actually smart. I'm actually, because of now, I was just looking at, I went the first time and I passed it the first time, and everybody was like saying, oh, that test is so difficult. Now that system, has been scrapped. They introduced a new system whereby you go online, you book, you're no longer doing phone calls, you go online, you check your book. After you book, you look at the place that you want to go and write, the nearest place, then you go there. On your day, you're submitting all the things that you need to submit to show that you booked and all this type of stuff. Then you will all go to a class, but when you arrive there, you're no longer using a pen and a paper. There is computers, different chairs. They will put you, so-and-so, go to number, so-and-so, go to number. When they're putting you to number 18, you just go and sit to the table, which is number 18 there, because they all have numbers. You'll be facing your computer. And from thereafter, the person who's in charge will, greet you guys and start telling you what's going to happen and how things will go, and switch on your computers. Do you switch on, or they're always on? On, they put your details. Sorry about that. You put on your details. You start putting your ID number. You start putting your stuff. You switch off your cell phone, because you must switch off your cell phone, because they don't want you to start looking into the app and see if you can, get away with certain stuff. So then she will start saying stuff that she want to say. Obviously, as a class, maybe there will be 1 or 2 questions that you are going to participate as the whole class, so that it's a test, so that she will see that you guys are ready. And obviously, when you are there, you have to choose the language that you're comfortable with. Those who grew up speaking fluent Afrikaans, they go for Afrikaans. Those who started, using English should continue with English. I remember when I made a mistake one time and I switched to my home language, Sepedi, not knowing that the questions will be extremely difficult than the answers. Because of now, you have to go back to school and remember what are they actually saying. Because the questions in your home language, it's going to be extremely difficult, especially if you didn't learn that test using that language. So whatever language that you're learning with or studying with, make sure that when you're writing using that language. So from thereafter, you start, writing your test. There is a time there on the screen, which is an hour. Then you start counting from 60. Then it goes all the way down. And you keep writing the ones that you feel like you're not sure about. You can skip and go do other, questions. Then you'll come back later and deal with those questions. And if maybe 60 minutes is done, the hour is done, and you didn't answer all the questions, the test ends and the computer gives you the results. You failed. And when you're done with all the questions, you submit your test. The computer already marked your test. So now you don't have to go to the examiner or to that lady or to that gentleman and submit your test. The computer by itself start giving you the results. Then you will see, okay, you passed and how you passed, and also which questions gave you some difficulties. So you'll get all of that. So when you stand up from that chair, already you know if you passed or you fail. You can go and sit outside if you passed, so that when everybody's done, then they can start with the process of giving you your learners. Or else, even if you failed, you can sit outside and ask for your statement of results, so that you will see how you performed. And I just wanted to put that one out there simply because of he added, that, and he also wanted to clarify that. And most people go there with that attitude or with that mentality of saying, I know this thing, I passed it before. When you get there, questions have changed. You know, sometimes you will still get the same question that you dealt with many years ago, but they change it there and there. They use certain words so that they can trick you a bit. And there are questions which are very tricky. They need you to pay attention, because if you don't pay attention to questions, you might end up doing them vice versa. You know the answer, but you might end up doing them vice versa and getting them wrong. And once you submit, you submit. You can't say, I'm going back to rectify that. Once you submit it, you submit it. So you need to be extremely careful about that. And I also like the fact that he said what I always tell people on my channel, that you need to rewrite that test so that you can be sure. Don't guess, because most people, they're guessing. And when you're answering questions because of you want to pass, it's a problem. You must answer questions because of you do understand the question and you know exactly what it means. And you must understand all those road signs, obey all those road signs, and also rules of the roads. Know all the road markings, the paintings, and you know, yeah, man, just do what you can do. And know that getting a learner's license is a great foundation. So if you have a shaky foundation, you're setting yourself for failure, man, because you cannot get away with that. You know, all these things will be displayed on the road, because that's where we're all performing. So it really shows if you did your work. It really shows if you paid too much attention to all those controls. We have seen so many people who are driving, but when it's raining, they cannot drive. They don't know how to work those controls. It's difficult. It becomes misty. All of a sudden, they don't even see. Even if you're 4 or 6 in that vehicle, it's raining, no problem. You guys can breathe. There is no need to try to hold your breath because of, you know, it's misty on the windscreen and the driver cannot see. Use the AC. But you need to go through that process of solid foundation of learners so that you will know what to touch, what not to touch, when to use the cold one, when to use the hot, so that you can be in a great space. And I appreciate you guys showing me love and support. I wanted to cover that simply because he is doing a great job and we need to give credit. Thank you.